Finally, another Star Wars show is back. Bad Batch is not one of my favorite Star Wars shows, but I do like it a lot. I don't appreciate as much as Clone Wars or Rebels, but I think it's a solid animated series overall. I like how it explores what happened to the clones after Order 66, and it delves deeper into the events in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, which I like. I like this time period. I like knowing more what happened about the rise of the Empire and the fall of the Republic. And I think that the Bad Batch has been exploring it really well. I'm not really as connected to the characters as I would like. For me personally, I like the clones. It's just not my favorite aspect of Star Wars. It's just I'm not as in touch with the, let's say, the prequels as other people are, but I'm really enjoying so far this season of the Bad Batch. I think it's off to a solid start. I enjoyed the premiere episode and the second one, and also I think that the third episode of the season 3, which is also the last season, I think the third episode is the strongest of the three. So I think that's a solid start. I'm really liking what we've got so far, and so let's delve deep into episode 1. And the first episode is called Confined, and here Omega is in captivity on Mount Tantis. Dr. Hamlock is performing some tests on her. They're taking blood samples, and she's forced to do some tasks in the laboratory. Of course, she isn't really treated all that badly, but she is a prisoner. Nala Se actually is for her safety, but the others, like Dr. Shamlock, even her sister, which Dr. Emery Carr, she wants to just study Omega and run samples on her, but actually Nala Se kind of wants Omega to be safe. Omega often goes sees also Crosshair, who is stuck in the prison as well. Crosshair seems to be distraught here. He's lost all sense of hope of escaping, but Omega here, she really keeps her optimism, and she wants him to have hope as well. Omega is also prohibited of having like any things, any objects that would show any attachments to her past life. But near the end, her sister brings it back because probably she does indeed have feelings for Omega, even though she's mostly brainwashed by the Empire at this point. Also, Omega befriends a creature called a Lurka creature, who essentially she ends up freeing because they were gonna kill her, and so she ends up freeing this creature, and the episode ends with her hearing the creature outside of Mount Tantis, which gives her a renewed ounce of just of hope, because she thinks that she might have a chance to escape as well. And Hemlock also warns Omega that Crosshair will be in danger if she doesn't comply, if she continues her bad behavior. So that's the way episode 1 ends off. I really enjoyed it. I liked seeing where Omega, how Omega is dealing with her captivity, and then what they're doing with to her. Also, it's at least Crosshair is still alive. Even though his situation is bad, he's still alive and he's in captivity as well. So hopefully they'll be able to escape in the future. Um, but yeah, the solid start to the season. I really enjoyed where this series is going, especially now that the stakes are getting higher since it's the final season. We'll see how it all concludes. Episode 2, Paths of the Unknown, follows Hunter and Wrecker as they try to get Omega back. They end up on like this jungle planet because they go to the Duran Syndicate, peoples that we haven't seen since season 1. And they go to see Roland, who has a horn cut off on his head. They go ask for his help after they bring the Pike Syndicate member that cut off his horn in exchange for information on where Omega's whereabouts could be. So the Ren Syndicate, they tell the clones that it's on a jungle planet, and that's where they head off next. And of course, now they arrive there. The facility is completely abandoned. So, the information that the Ren Syndicate had, I don't think it was unreliable, but just simply they weren't in touch with the Empire all that much, so they probably hadn't heard from them in a long time. So when they arrive to the jungle planet, they of course find out that this facility is abandoned, but they do find some clones there, which and they end up helping they do find some young clones, and they end up helping the old clone. They still go to search inside the facility, trying to get anything that they can about Omega's whereabouts, even though they know there's nothing there anymore. They just try to find Omega and get her back in any way that they can. And I like that they would die for each other. They find out that the base was ruined by the young clones because the Empire was attempting an experimental biological defenses called the Slider Vines, which completely failed, and it really polluted the entire base and the world. It didn't help the world at all. And you kind of just wonder how many times the Empire just ruined worlds. The young clones have trust matters, but they eventually decide to help Wrecker and Hunter trying to find the data for the whereabouts of Omega. They then need to just to protect the computer, so that it can download data of the new whereabouts of Shamlock's operation facility, and they are then attacked by this sort of plant creature, just like it's very similar to the Sarlacc pit. And I really like the creature designs in this episode. I thought that they were realistic and they were sort of creepy. I like this alien world, alien planet that we've never seen before. Just trash world that the Empire left behind. I thought it was a pretty cool episode. And when they're done, they drop the young clones off and they thank them for their help. Because just so that they won't leave them there and this just a desolate planet, and they head off to find Omega together, Wrecker and Hunter. Like I said, I thought that the third episode was my favorite of the three, entitled Shadows of Tantis. This episode has a returning Ian McDiarmid as Emperor Palpatine, which is just fantastic. Every time Ian McDiarmid pops up as Palpatine, it's just great to watch. Even though it's only his voice and it's an animation, his appearance here had weight. It had meaning. Also, because we know that Mount Tantis comes from legends, it comes from the higher to the Empire days, and what's great here is that we actually see the Emperor just overlooking projects on Mount Tentis, which we weren't able to see in the higher to the Empire novels because the Emperor was dead during that time. So it's just great. It's a great connection to the original Star Wars novels. So he goes to this facility and he oversees Hemlock's work. Palpatine wants to know about Project Necromancer, which we can only guess it's because he wants to clone himself if things go wrong, and we know that things will go wrong. So we know that Project Necromancer is probably his clone on that he will make on Exegol, which isn't perfect. It's not a perfect clone for him, but at least it's a start for him to live eternal. Meanwhile, Nala Se tells Omega that it's time for her to escape because her time is running out. Her blood is about to be tested. Also, Omega takes Crosshair out of prison. They escape together by clever ruse, and together they manage to escape the facility. Shemlock go after them. They send Lurka after them, but the Lurka they end up helping them escape. Actually, there's a creature in the jungle, and the Lurka attack the creature. They also attack some of the men. They manage to escape inside one of the enemy ship, and they are let go because and the Omega's tests are now positive, and she is very important. My guess is that she's important to the cloning of Emperor Palpatine, which makes sense because, well, I don't think that Omega is gonna make it out alive in the series. I think she's gonna die, but I think that her blood is so important of the cloning of Emperor Palpatine. So I think that's why they're keeping her alive. I think that's why they didn't shoot her down at the end of the episode. So yeah, I enjoyed all 3 episodes of Bad Batch Season 3. I thought they were really solid. I'm looking forward to more every week. Also, I'm really satisfied with how Star Wars is right now. I'm loving the books. I'm loving the shows. Hopefully, the new movies will be great. Just I think that Star Wars is just in a really good place right now, and I'm excited to see it continue in the future. So let me know what you thought about the Bad Batch the first 3 episodes down of season 3 down in the comments below. See you next time. Peace.